we're talking about DRS and we're talking about, you talk about unlucky decisions. This one's a howler. I mean, the ball was completely pitched outside leg stump, right? You're seeing there's no review left. So essentially, both the teams had exhausted their reviews by the 5th over, right? So there you're going for pretty much half the match. You don't have any reviews left. Now, there's got to be some solution. And Zach and me were talking at that time.
With reviews to start with, you shouldn't take a chance.
Yeah.
You should be absolutely certain that it's going to go in my favor. At least the percentage should be in your favor.
Yeah.
That's something which is key. Like, if it's a LBW decision, if you've nicked it as a batsman, you've nicked it, there's no way I'm going to be out, then that scenario, you just have to go for the review. In another scenario, when you know that it's going way missing the stumps, and the right judge of that is the guy standing at the other end.
Yeah.
If he's in the right position to help you with making that decision, this is what you're feeling, and when your partner supports that, then you know that yes, it's worth taking the review. The problem is when you are hopeful and optimistic about taking that review, hoping that it may miss the stumps, is something, at times in situations like this can look ugly, and we've seen plenty of instances like that. So as a team, there has to be some kind of a decorum in place with regard to how you go about taking the reviews.
Yeah, because
it's tough to get Raidu to follow any decorum, isn't it?
No, for a
over
batsman.
the years, if you followed him, he has his own way. I heard Mahendra Singh Dhoni talk about him the other day. In Chennai we were, and they were talking about, it was an event for Chennai Super Kings, and he had told his owners, this year we're not going to win Fair Play Awards. He said, why? He says, we have Raidu in our team. Because he makes his own decisions. So.
Yeah.
And I think it was the situation of the game. You'd already lost 2 wickets.
Yeah, but I mean, look.
But I'm with him.
The repercussions of that are just intense, because if Dhoni, I'm saying,
Yeah.
there's always ifs and buts. Yeah. But that's a howler decision, and you're saying if he had stayed, could have got on next ball as well. But it's stuck around. There was advantage India at the time, right? With Dhoni and Rohit both there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Rohit can also then go hammer and tongs, because he knows, all right, we've got a set Dhoni over there, maybe playing at a strike rate of 60, but at least he's set and he'll keep one end up.
Yeah, and his strength is this. I mean, we've seen that over the years. Maybe he's slow to start off these days, but when he gets in, then he catches up.
Yeah.
That's never been a problem with him, to catch up with the balls if he hangs around. So at that stage, if he hadn't got out, maybe, we would have got much closer. And as Zach says, margin is very small. Maybe we would have got that margin.
No, the positive from the game has been that, like, when Indian team has put under pressure, when you've lost 3 wickets and you have to rebuild, then he's the right person to rebuild from that stage. Then you're not looking at the other things. Like we were also talking about keeping those wickets hand till the 35th over, create that kind of a platform. That platform was always made. So that's something which was the positive from today's match, that if this kind of situation happens, at that stage you're not looking at the other things, you're not looking at the strike rate. The priority is to get in a position where you're providing that platform for batsmen to come in, so that you have a chance of winning the match from that situation.
So here's the thing, we're talking about the DRS decision. Don't think that we're being like it's sour grapes. Oh no, all right. No, we're not doing that. We're just genuinely talking about DRS, because this one review that the team has, and if you lose it, if one player just goes errant according to plan or thinks it's going to hit, it can really have solid repercussions on the game. And when you're thinking for half the game, there's no DRS, there's no decision for either team, then what's the point of having DRS if half the game, that's a big percentage, half the game has no DRS in play. So really, what do you do? Also, in terms of judging, just one last question on this before we wrap it up. There's umpire's call and the review getting retained. Sometimes, there's hopefulness. There's also thinking, okay, I may be out, but वो umpire's call हो जाएगा, तो at least the review will be retained and मेरे को तसल्ली हो जाएगी कि मैं out ही था. Right? Does that play on your mind? Does that give you a little more leeway to go for?
It does, but DRS review system is also in a way a bit complicated. So when the batsman, when the umpire had given you out, that time even if the ball is just touching the stumps,
you're still out.
And you have lost your review.
Yeah.
So the chances
if it's touching the stumps, if it's umpire's call, you retain your review. Okay. You still go out. You'll retain your review, but you still go out.
Yeah, but if it's
the thing is, you're out.
Yeah.
So why even hope for, like, what's the point, right? It's a gamble. So unless you're sure, what you're saying is that unless you're sure, you shouldn't put your money on that bet.
Exactly.
Unless you're sure you know what the card is.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been a big fan of DRS or the review system for various reasons. It'll probably take half an hour to explain the whole system. But at the end of the day, it is for the howlers, what they call howlers, as in, you've had a big inside edge and the umpire's given you out. Or, you haven't nicked it and he's given you out. For LBWs, I actually feel that you should actually take the DRS out for LBWs.